Good morning, Izette from Zetster's Lab. Well, we are visiting our friends on the farm, and it's a Karoo farm, and it's winter, and you can see it's very cold and gorgeous. I grew up on a farm, a lot like this one, so I feel at home. It is so wonderful. But what I want to share today is when we came and we were having dinner last night, we always come and visit our friends, and then we stay in Hannes's mother's house, just next to the big farmhouse where Hannes and Rienie are staying, because they said, you're on holiday, you come, you're alone, and then we can just visit each other. So we make our own food, and once a day we eat together, mostly in the evening. So as we were eating last night, Rienie brought me this doll, and she said, you know what, will you please crochet some booties for the doll? And I said, sure, I'll look on YouTube, I'll find a video, crochet along video, and I'll quickly crochet them. And that is what I did this morning. Got some yarn from Rienie, and it took me about half an hour to quickly crochet these two booties. But the awesome story she told me about this doll is they bought this doll for her grandmother when she got dementia. And her grandmother just loved holding the doll and just nurturing, the doll. She was, at that stage, her mind was like a little girl, and she was just playing doll. And now Rinie's mom, she's starting with dementia, and she's slowly but surely, her mind is deteriorating, and now Rienie wants to give this doll to her mum. Her mum is now presently staying with her brother, but the little booties got lost, so Rienie asked me to crochet some. And then she told me this beautiful story. She said, once a week, a cleaner comes in to clean where her mother is now staying with her brother. And one day, the cleaner brought her little baby. And her mum they gave the baby to her mum. And the whole day, her mum was just holding the little baby. And they said the baby was in heaven, loved it to just be held. Her mother was absolutely in heaven, as I say it. And they said what was going on in that little, the mom with dementia holding the little baby, and there was just so much pure life there. And I was thinking about it, and I realized the little baby still is without an ego. There's no self, me, myself, and I. No learned ideas yet, nothing. It's just this pure soul, spirit just pouring through that little baby. And now Rinie's mum, she's losing her mind. So her ego is also going. Very little ego left. So what do you have between that older woman and that little baby is just pure spiritual connection. Isn't it awesome? The ego is out of the way. And it's just the pureness of love that is just flowing from the one to the other. To me, it's just the most beautiful picture just me picturing this old woman and this little baby just allowing unconditional love to just pour through them. I mean, I just think it is the most beautiful, beautiful story. So it was pure joy for me to create this pair of socks, and just knowing the love that it's gonna bring Reenie's mum to just love something, nurture something, even if it is just a doll. So once again, if I can, you can. I crocheted these from a YouTube video. I'll put the link below. And it is a crochet along. And if you know how to do a single crochet and a double crochet, you will be able to do this, because the woman explains beautifully. And you know, I've done so many crochet projects, crocheting along. I still cannot read a pattern. I really don't want to. I love crocheting along. So this woman will just explain and crochet, and then she'll say, and now you do 6 single crochets, and then you do double crochet in the next 2 stitches, and voila, just by crocheting along, I crochet these little gorgeous booties. So to create is so much fun. But never mind fun, as I told you in my previous video, the healing of creating. So, you know, I was sitting there creating, and after half an hour, these 2 booties were the only thing that you could see. What happened in that half an hour, but my mind was totally still. I wasn't thinking about this world and the things in this world and troubles and whatever. I was just listening, crocheting, and just purely being in the moment. And that is where we receive our wisdom, our peace, our joy, provision, whatever we may need in this moment. And you know, we think about Reenie's mother. My dad had dementia at the end of his life in this body, and my husband's mom and dad also. And it's tough. It is very tough on the children and the loved ones when your parents start to lose knowing you, you know. But remember, it's only the mind. Their spirit just are still there, perfect. All of a sudden, there's nothing that's blocking the spirit. They become once again like a little child who is just pure. I don't know if the word unadulterate, if you can use that, but pure unadulterate spirit. Nothing has become mixed, you know. As soon as we become an ego and we start to want to do things our way and my life, and you know, there comes judgment and resentment and whatever, we block the life in us. But as I said, the vision that I had of that older woman with that little black baby, just loving each other, just allowing the life to just pour freely through them towards each other. It's just such an holy moment. It's just so holy. And that is what it means when we become still. Be still, still your mind. Get out of the way and allow the abundant life in you to start flowing out of you, touching everybody else and whatever. That is just pure holiness. All we need to do is get out of the way, and her mum is there now. And the little baby is still not worldlinized. I wanted to say commercialized, but not part of the worldly systems and stuff yet, beliefs and things. Just pure spirit. It's just too beautiful. Well, thank you that I can share. Thank you for subscribing and liking and sharing. If this means something to you, I just share what really, really touches me, speaks to me, and I just love sharing it with you. You know, we have so much to be grateful for, thankful for. And the more we focus on that, the more we grow into the things that we can be grateful for. They just become more and more, they grow because of the gratefulness that we are really experiencing. So yes, be grateful for what you have and do not focus on what you don't have. Just focus on what you have. Oh, I don't know where I'm going with this, but I've listened to a video this morning, and the person was saying, you know, the AA meetings that you have in this world, for you drink too much or you whatever, you go to an AA meeting. He said in the spiritual realm, we have a triple A meeting. But now I need to find where I wrote it, because, you know, my little notebook, where I draw and I write what really touches me. So it is the 3A, the triple A's. When you get into trouble or you get troubled, you know, your spirit, you get troubled, you get stuck, you just feel something is not right, you go to the triple A. And first A is acknowledge what you have. Acknowledge it. What do you have? Not what you don't have. So the first step is you acknowledge what you do have to be thankful for. Then you start to really focus and appreciate what you do have. First, you acknowledge what you have. Secondly, you appreciate what you have. And then you allow fully what needs to come next. You see, because we have these ideas and preconceived ideas and beliefs and whatever, what we want to come next. But when that doesn't happen, we are depressed and fearful and angry and resentful and name it. Because our way life does not happen our way. So we need to let that go. That is the big thing. If you don't have a specific idea of what needs to come next, you cannot be discouraged. Because, you know, I also had to learn that the life in me, the abundant life in me, and in everybody else all around, that is unconditional love. That life, my true life, always wants what's good for me, for my good, you know? So I've learned that the unconditional love in me is unconditional love, but it's pure love. And by trusting, by learning to fully and wholly trust that life in me, it's only then that you can allow fully what needs to come next. If you don't trust the abundant life in you, if you don't know that the life in me, my spiritual source, I call it my father, my spiritual father, loves me unconditionally and loves everybody else unconditionally. I mean, it's so pure. And only wants what's best for me to grow and mature. I mean, if you with your physical children, you want what's best for them. And sometimes they get what they don't want. They want a new cell phone, and you know this is not what's best for them they need to go and earn some money or to buy it or whatever. You know what's best. But you know, I grew up in a house where my dad and mom, they were just loving me. I'm adopted, and I spoke about that so many times. But I know I was loved. And especially through my adopted dad. He had a soft spirit. My mom was totally the opposite of me. She was a perfectionist and a go-getter, and I'm an artist, you know. So we had a clash in personalities, even though I knew she loved me with everything in her. But my dad had the soft spirit. So I remember, I'll share it one day, I wanted to go and look at the guinea pigs, I don't know what I call them, at the workers' houses. We had a racehorse farm, and there are many, many people that worked on the farm. And I wanted to go to the one house there, at the workers' house, to go and look at the guinea pigs. And my dad said, no, you're not going there alone. You're a little girl, you don't go there. I went and asked my mum. She didn't know. My dad said no, so she said, yes, quickly go. So on my way back on my little bicycle, it was about 500 meters from our home, my dad found me. He came from the stables, and he plucked a little bush, a soetbos. That is actually this bush that's here at the back, this grey one. My dad plucked a little bush thing, and he was hitting me. I mean, he barely touched me, but it was traumatic. I was so upset. How can he hit me and blah, 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 you know? But I mean, really, it was just, go home, you know. I told you not to go. It can be very dangerous and whatever, you know. But I was so upset. But even though I was disciplined, I knew I was loved, and it was for my good because I trusted him. I knew he loved me unconditionally. I was just very upset because I couldn't believe my dad could give me a hiding. I mean, really, it was like this, very soft with a little thing. So you can only do this AAA thing, you know, if you really trust and have learned to trust the abundant life in you. The abundant life in you that is unconditional love, that is guiding you, providing for you, like a loving earthly father. But I mean, a million times more love and more pure and more holy and more love. So if you've learned to trust and just surrender and trust to that love, that source, that life in you, you can really then, it's only then that you can fully allow and accept whatever needs to come next, because you know it's for your good. So once again, the three things when your life feels totally off course, you feel in trouble, you feel troubled, depressed, as if things are not moving your way or whatever, you go to the AAA. Acknowledge firstly what you do have to be thankful for. Appreciate fully on what you do have. And then allow, as I always say, turn inwards to your spiritual source, your life, your Father, Turn inwards, surrender, and, just, Father, allow whatever you need to allow. I know you are going to, but I accept that. I fully accept your way. I surrender my way and I accept your way, whatever needs to come. And that is the way to spiritual health, spiritual oneness, whatever, with a life in you, to that place where you really experience peace and joy in the midst of any earthly situation. And then I come back to the doll. I come back to my friend and her mom who have dementia. And the little baby, they are there. They are there and operating in the fullness of the Spirit. Just allowing, they out of the way, the ego, and they are just allowing the abundant life in them to just flow. And that's why the people around them, Rienie's brother and sister, experience so much peace and joy in the midst of what they were a witness for. Well, I'm hearing my husband and Hannes, they were busy there in the workshop. They're coming for lunch. So thank you that I can share my journey. Love you lots. And we've got this. We've got the abundant life. My life is your life. We've got the one life flowing mightily through us, loving us. Love you lots.